To achieve success in manufacturing today, professionals must synchronize the application of capital, labor, and equipment in a sort of industrial ballet, where the competing requirements of time, cost, and speed are calculated and recalculated on a real-time basis. To get great outcomes, manufacturing processes must be planned carefully, and to stay successful, manufacturers must aggregate, analyze, and act on multiple data sets generated by manufacturing processes and by the products themselves. Knowing what to do with that data and how to analyze it to generate actionable insight requires tools as complex as the production equipment itself. I had a chance to discuss where manufacturing needs to go once they leave that starting line with Mike Buchli, 3D Experience Works manufacturing expert at Dassault Systèmes. Take a look. We've sort of talked around this a little bit. It's if you're Boeing or you're Lockheed Martin, basically you can apply an almost seemingly an infinite amount of money and personnel and intelligence to a manufacturing problem. But if you're an SME, if you're the smaller shop we're talking about, where you really need to play in the big leagues, and the big league players, your customers, generally speaking, have access to these tools, basically, do these tools exist in an affordable way that SMEs, the smaller shops, can train themselves up into in a timely way so they can really integrate properly with these big customers?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the difference of where we're at today versus where we were 15, 20 years ago, right? 15 or 20 years ago, it was like Swiss machines and high-end advanced mill turns, and these monster machines were you could only afford them if you were the big companies like you mentioned, right? Today, pretty much anybody can have access to a robot or an advanced machine or a mill turn or a Swiss. They're becoming more commonplace. And along with that, you're also seeing the software that used to only be available for the big companies now available to anyone, because everybody now can play at the same rate. It doesn't matter if I have a phase converter in my garage. I can run a phase converter in my garage on a mill turn, and it will produce parts at the same rate that it would in a big corporate shop. The only thing I have to do is have the software to run it. And I think that's the biggest change we've seen with this evolution. And I think that's also why you're seeing mass customization, because there's so many small companies out there now that, one, can have access to the same software, but also can buy the same machine. And they can now say, I'm going to carve out my niche of the world, doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and I'm going to be really good at that thing. Where in the past, you would have to go find a big corporation that decides that's what we're going to do.